Our story, which I'll break it into little parts, is we are in the east side of Wilmington, for those of you who didn't realize that. Michelle Harley knows where we are. And we are in one of the most impoverished areas of the city of Wilmington, state of Delaware. We are in an opportunity zone. We are in Riverside. This 47,500 square foot building was called the Opportunity Center. For the many, many years, it was the place that was a sheltered workshop, for a politically incorrect term, for handicapped people and retarded people, because that's not the terms we use today. And in February 2019, the space became available, and we entered into a lease purchase agreement in September 4th of 2019 to take this building. We needed 5,000 square feet, so it is really insanity to take 47,500 square feet. Believe it or not, we have plans for almost every square inch of this space. God works in mysterious ways. Our motto and our model is exclusively to hire returning citizens wherever possible. There's 3 or 4 of us, including me, that is not. But whenever possible, that's what our goal is. And we, with the help of those returning citizens, we set up what was the predecessor to that farm that you all took a tour. And on February 14th, we had seeded about 300,000 seeds in there. We were thrilled, we were excited, and then our first harvest was scheduled 4 weeks later at March 16th of 2020. As we were doing our first harvest that day, which was a Monday, I will never forget it, March 16th, I got news that the governor has shut down all the restaurants at 8 o'clock that day. And just so you guys have a sense of that, we had sold everything we had produced to restaurants, everything. You know, the obstacles that we have run are unbelievable along the way, and there are lots of people that have helped us get there. And one of the reasons I wanted to invite members of the House and the Senate, and as well as City Council here, is really asking for your help in a couple of different ways. Newcastle County, County Executive Matt Meyer had received a very large windfall from the first COVID bill, if you remember, and I think he used it pretty creatively. And one of the things he did is he gave us a grant to feed, to home deliver 180 families living in public housing for 90 days every week, fresh farm produce from our farm. Because he felt food insecurity was the key issue that needed to be dealt with. Because if you go to any dollar store, you go to anyone, there's no fresh produce at all. And most people who are living in poverty are living in areas which are in food deserts. And so he came up with the idea that and he and I that we could deliver it to people's homes. That's the first step. That's one receipt, because if you don't have transportation, you're not going to go and this stuff. But the second thing he said is, you can deliver, but if they have no idea what to do with the bok choy or pork and all the stuff you're growing. So that's where Chris Holt, working in this kitchen, we produced a series of videos with chefs, male and female, black and white, of things that you could do that are simple in this kitchen that they could do. They were on YouTube, so they were free. And we also then printed the recipes, and they were electronically available. So the idea was to break down the barriers to eating good food. This was an incredible success for us. So what I really am hoping is I can persuade members of the legislature and City Council to take this money that is not part of the ongoing budget issues, because it's new money and it has to be spent on food insecurity, related issues, and enable us to deliver produce to people who are needy, all right? You can tell us who they are. It could be your neighborhood, it could be people in public housing, it could be people who are just food insecure in any way on this stuff. We would like to do it for a year because we think what we are doing can make systemic changes. And I think it also, from a health point of view, can also change some of the food habits on the stuff. So that's one ask. And the second thing is, in that bill are provisions for providing employment for people who would otherwise not been able to sort of job reentry attack. So Alabama, for example, which is interesting, you'd never think Alabama is progressive, but they're actually thinking hiring returning citizens is very progressive, and they thought hiring and training and paying up to a year's worth of salary might be a good way of using those funds. In any event, the ask is really we are a startup that should have gone out of business by all premises in March or April that year. We stay alive every day. There's power on, every day there's on. I'm thrilled to have it. And what I'm not looking for is a handout. What I'm looking for is to make real change. And real change for us is we grow pesticide-free and chemical-free food. Encourage you other members of particularly the Democratic caucus to come and visit us, but really think about innovative ways of addressing food insecurity. You know, the amazing thing about food insecurity is we write large task force and reports, but very few people actually do it. And if we are going to particularly, and the other thing we want to do is to provide a program to children like at families at schools like Eastside Charter, where we can provide essentially a community service CSA package that we can deliver to the school and they can take it home once a week. Again, that's one way on it, and then encourage the kids to videotape what is being made and give them contests, right? And get the children involved in on the stuff. We really, not because you're here, we think what we are doing is pretty unusual, it's expensive. We pay $31,200 a year. So just so you know, because we believe that makes a difference. After there's an initial training program for 16 weeks, after that is $31,200. I think we are walking the talk, doing the talk, but we'll be running out of space to walk or talk if we don't get some support on this stuff.